Nick from Black White is on TikTok, and that's all I know.
Nicholas Sparks. Now I think
Nicholas Sparks, great name. Isn't that? Wait, hold on.
Isn't that like a
Nicholas
romance author
Sparks
or
like a romance author?
He's the
or a young adult author?
What's that one? It's called like the nice place, the house near water.
The House on the Hill.
The Notebook?
Yeah, yeah, that's the one.
The spiral bound college ruled.
That's the one. Yeah, it's British. It changed.
Writing pad.
The paper.
I love The Writing Pad, dude. That was a great film.
Dude, banger. I cry every time that they hug in the rain. Or something.
The journal page. Jacob, do you have anything to say to lead us into this?
Nick Sparks, he was the teen in Black White from 2006.
Yeah.
Which one?
What?
Describe which teenager.
The one that...
He was the black one.
Hell yeah.
Waiter.
Let's watch.
You're right.
He was.
I don't see that kind of
He
stuff.
had the apple on his head.
I will say,
the legendary image.
he relatively does not have very many followers. And a lot of his content is like sports stuff.
Hold on.
But he was posting about the show and interacting with people who had questions about the show for a while, which is the interesting part to us.
You see in his bio what his job is? That's there. Tech at Tesla.
Oh, is he like
Sagittarius.
he works on like a technical team?
Yeah,
like,
something like that.
That's cool.
Or maybe it's just something he likes.
No, he works at Tesla.
Respect.
Jacob said no joking around.
And there's some more about that in one of these videos that is what he's up to now.
It's such a normie username. I like that. I'm sure plenty of the people already know, but we have a hallowed series where we watched all of a show called Black Period, White Period, which we highly recommend. You've probably seen it.
And it's entirely the fault of producers and none of the participants.
Who all seem very fun.
Well, except for
and
Bruno.
He made bold choices, but they...
Bald choices.
Hey, come on. Well, no, it did. As someone that might go bald, I want to be sensitive to the community, unlike Bruno. He does not speak for all of us. It's a show about a black family and white family live together in like the house from Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah,
the worst day.
a random house in LA.
And what could happen?
The white family is like connected kind of to the production, or they at least know people. And then the black family had to interview about why they were the best minorities to be involved.
Yeah. Are they model? You know, do they count? And then they do.
And then the family was like, the Sparks family was very like, I felt real. Like
Yes,
they felt
authentic.
very grounded, very like true to life.
Despite the fact that they had to do whiteface and the other family had to do blackface, which is obviously
And not that the other family wasn't. It's just that Bruno is a working actor, and Carmen was his partner at the time, but not actually. They weren't like an actual family unit.
They were all theatrical at heart, and I think that did kind of, in a show about, supposedly, let's have some real discussions and consideration about race and culture, having one half of it be a cartoon and then the other half be a relatively authentic family that's like a little confused by the production.
Well, yeah.
Adds a weirdness to it.
Also, there's like teenagers, like minors during the production, who harbor no blame for any of this because they literally are just along for the ride.
Our favorite characters are Dick and Rose in this show.
Yeah.
And
Rose has a podcast, and I don't know what she's up to. We'll have to check in on her soon.
Pray that she's thriving.
But then Nick is posting, and he's posting about the show, so let's watch.
So this question goes, is coming from at McGoogle, and his question was, how was school after the show, and if I got any more acting gigs? One, on the acting gigs, no, I didn't do any type of acting. I did some like modeling here and there, but I never got into the acting. But school-wise, of course, I think at that time was MySpace and everything. So of course, the friends and everything had hit you up after the show aired in 2006. But after the show, I didn't go back to school because I got expelled. So I ended up going to military school.
Whoa.
And in military school, nobody knew about the show until like towards the end of the show, when I had to leave, because I actually had to leave military school and go do Oprah. Was invited to the Oprah show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we found out that he got expelled from school in the show, right? Because there was like
He
some
had
weird
his
stuff that went down.
friend's-
His friend gave him a weapon or something to hold
He
on
had
to.
his friend's knife in his bag.
Yeah.
And he makes sure to clarify that the friend was Asian. I don't know why that contributed to
But anyway, he goes to military school. He's referring to Oprah which is a now like deleted from existence episode of Oprah. In my mind, it's lost media because I haven't been able to find it because I wanted to back when we were covering the show. They did like a reunion show on Oprah. And
God, if it's still around.
there is a very much does not hold up to the test of time thing called like the Great Race Machine or something, and it turns Oprah into a bunch of different races. Like there's like an article. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's this.
I'm not kidding. For a second, my dumb boy broken brain for a second went like, whoa, like the machine for Stefan Urkel. Like she steps inside it and a white woman comes out.
I mean, so this is like how far AI has come, I guess. But like, look at that photo. Yeah. Like these are different people. I mean,
that's not Oprah.
This was a meme though. Remember back when like, here's me if I was a different race? Like, wasn't that like a Snapchat meme?
That was like a,
undercooked Snapchat meme.
I'm 17 and this this is deep kind of thing. Yeah.
So now we're caught up to speed on this very strange episode of Oprah that I would very much like to view if anyone can figure out where it is.
Any heroes in the comments?
Out there?
I'm sure it. The funny thing is like these days when, you know, some media goes missing from, let's say, the last 10 years or so, we can always sort of rely on the archivists. They're like a class, like paladins in the modern day. But I just can't imagine anyone outside of the production having the foresight to be like, I'll back up this episode of Oprah. So I'm really hoping somebody just...
So the truth of the matter, because I've consumed a lot of stories about how lost media is found, I guarantee you that there is someone like my aunt who is out there who VHS recorded every episode of Oprah. And it's on a VHS tape, and they don't know anything about lost media.
They need a nephew to turn up and be like...
They need a nephew who's on 4chan or something, and then that person will get us the VHS tape digitized.
And then we'll have to kind of port it away from 4chan because it turns out that guy is...
Or we can make a call out to the aunties of America if you did record Oprah on VHS tape back in 2006. We're looking for the Black-White Reunion episode.
If you're able to provide that to us, you will get, I don't know, probably like, we'll give you a kidney or something. In this room, we have so many kidneys ready to go.
Ready to go is a stretch.
Size? You want to...
Any size.
4 blood types, probably.
But it was cool. The love and everything was cool. I mean, shit, a few times, you know, I went out to eat and I didn't even have to pay for shit. You know, you go eat and they'll come to the table like, hey, the food's on the house type shit.
Yo.
So after that, I've never pursued the acting thing. And I think the main reason was because during the show, just the cameras, it was like no privacy. It's just cameras every fucking where. And when I was modeling, I did get offered, they was gonna move me to New York. They wanted me to try TV shows or whatever, acting up there. But the only thing about it was at that time, they wanted me to lose my speech, my Southern drawl, and talk proper, or as black people say, talking white. But I had to lose my drawl, so I took a speech class for like a year, and it just didn't work. You know, my Southern accent is so heavy, it was just hard to lose it for me. And it is what it is. You know, you just move on, find other things to do, and enjoy life.
It's such a crazy demand.
He has such a cool outlook. But I also want to say, I feel like we will see stories like this more as kids because now it's far more common. There's going to be a lot more kids that were just always on camera growing up, like family vlog type situations.
Even self-elected just on TikTok, just posting.
Or self-elected on TikTok. Yeah. And now, you know, having a full adult, like he's our age, like being able to speak to that with like a fully developed brain is
full forebrain, full everything's
full brain,
there,
the whole thing's there, one would hope. I'm very curious to hear more of those stories because I can only imagine what it's like to like not be able to avoid the cameras that are always pointing at you.
I remember what watching the Truman Show for the first time did to my brain. Just the possibility that I'm being looked at outside. Actually, I mean what did we just blame the Truman Show? I think we both have the same self-consciousness that's part regular self-consciousness, but also part general anxiety. Is that, we talked about it recently when we went to that streamer or whatever we had, sir?
General anxiety.
Commander Fear, thank you. There is Commander Bipolar. You've returned. No one's ever looking at you as much as you worry that they would be.
Right.
But then 1 in 1,000 times you do something embarrassing in eyeline, or, I mean, in our case, sometimes, we are on camera, so we get a comment on it, but that's pretty rare. It's more about like, you're hanging out with someone and you just do something kind of stupid.
Oh, dude.
And then that lives. That's a scar. That one doesn't go away.
Also, I have my own problems, but I think that a lot of them are more chemical than like environmental. And I consider that a privilege. But one of the things that I'm really grateful for is like having any sort of audience after I was an adult.
Yeah.
And because there's certain things that I can brush off, also being a guy, like a 6'1", by the way, like guy who's not ever concerned about their physical safety, like on average. I go to a public place, I leave, I might get DMs being like, I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw you at the place and I didn't want to say hi or something. But like,
but I'm outside.
And that's a well-meaning person.
Yeah.
But there is a element to that that's like, I'm always being watched. And it's not like I'm so big and like known.
It just added a greater percentage chance.
Right, but it's like I'm already self-conscious about doing anything out in the real world when there's no one watching.
Yeah.
And so having in the back of your head that anyone might be watching, especially when you're younger and you have less to grasp onto in terms of what like normal is.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like I can only imagine like what that's like for you.
Especially if you're not. You're right in that it is about like being fully developed and ready for that. But then also, I don't know, I think I'm always fearful of someone even consuming content from a couple of years ago of me, or even just seeing a post on Instagram, anything from a version of myself that I relate to less, because I don't want that person as like an advocate for me. That version of Jordan Adika from the past is a really... is a bad lawyer. I don't want him going out and pleading my case. I'd rather you come directly to me.
Sure.
And having that at like a scale related to your career as well, like it's part of your job to have that kind of stuff up. Having that at a scale where your entire life or essential parts of your life are permanently archived and known publicly. And we're being charitable with Nick here because it's like, yep, he's a person and we respect and all that.
He's a person. He was a kid during the show, and I think he's giving us the gift of sharing some of these things from behind the scenes when he doesn't have a lot to gain from it. It was before the social media era, so like while he had some MySpace friends or whatever, but it's not like something that he was able to take with him for the rest of his career. He's doing something completely outside of the entertainment industry now, and he doesn't have a big audience. So I would never want to send any bad energy his way, and more just kind of give him a shout out for even like sharing some of this stuff.
I mean, we have friends that have talked on the show, actually on Zappos, but just in general about like finding success or posting things publicly relatively early in their 20s and in late teens. And there's something that's like the exact point in time where I felt I shifted from like, okay, which thing's gonna give me self-esteem? You start picking stuff a little more. Like when you're young, you're like, I don't even know who I am. And then you start to get a very slight inclination and you go like, am I like a career caring guy? Am I a family guy? Am I Stewie? It all starts to look
Vile woman.
And then you can kind of
Brian,
fuck it up. Like you can pick something for yourself and not be ready to adjust or change.
And he had some like turbulent stuff that even was like kind of exposed and made public by virtue of being on the show.
Yeah, at the time. I mean, even the we said about school, but like, I don't envy, and at the time I did, I really don't envy like in your teen years or your really early 20s, some kind of like super developmental period for something in your life, even if you're just transitioning out of becoming an adult into the real world, whatever. I really don't envy people getting a part of them locked there. I think it's similar. And I'm not saying this cynically, I have plenty of very happy couples like this, but I think it's similar to marrying your childhood sweetheart. Absolutely, it can and often does work out. It's not so much breakup that I'm cynical about. It's more so a like, okay, that is an avenue of personal experience that is now closed. That's just something. You are now frozen with this, and it's fine. And there's plenty of other things to like grow and change with. But it's sort of like, I don't really watch a lot of anime anymore. I was like, okay, anime, there's a version of my life where I watched anime and I probably got something out of it. But that thing is closed now. And like the opportunity to find self-esteem or self-fulfillment in something that isn't public kind of maybe closed now. Because it's like if you, I don't know, were really into a certain sport when you're like 20. And then you hurt your knee, can't do it anymore. And it's like, well, fuck, what do I like? What do I care? Who am I now? People that leave college don't play football anymore or something?
Yeah, anything that kind of robs you of the opportunity to redefine yourself and grow, because that's the thing that's constantly happening in life, that if you have to kind of be frozen in some sort of people's perception as a person that you were, it's like, it sucks.
So today on Facebook, I found out the show I did, Black White, back in 2005, is going viral on TikTok. Fucking 16, 17 years later. I was 16 when I did this. I'll be 33 this year. And it's just crazy because my coworkers at Tesla found the shit like a week or two ago. So they, they've been joking with me and shit at work or whatnot. So now to see it on TikTok and everybody seeing it is, I guess the recognition is nice. It's cool. I'm an adult now, so I can speak freely. Like, the daughter, Rose, she was great, cool. Okay. But the other two guys, Bruno and Carmen, it's been a few times we was filming. I thought my dad and my stepmom was gonna beat their ass.
When you're right.
I was so nervous, by the way.
What was that?
Because when he was like, it's like the girl, Rose, and I was like, huh? And he was like, she was cool. Oh, okay, yeah. Bruno? But Bruno? And we're like, yes. Oh, man. I will say that this is a few years ago. Someone must have sent this to me, but it is very cathartic to see it now.
There's something so funny about, like, again, it's that like cartoon and human angle where everything's hyper real, obviously, in especially in this era of reality TV. But somebody's sitting back at me like, yeah, I wanted to kick their fucking ass.
Yeah.
Like, they were annoying.
I thought my parents were gonna beat their ass.
That's awesome.
That's so funny.
So did I. I mean, there's scenes where it literally.
No, it's crazy what Bruno got away with on that show.
Hello, my fellow Negroes.
Yeah.
Cause it's just some of the shit they said and did was just like fucking extra as hell, and it was just like, I don't know, I can't explain. The shit was weird. Y'all really gotta watch the shit, but fucking them two is fucking weird as fuck, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. Fuck 'em.
Fuck. Fuck 'em. Jesus.
I think he said fuck him.
Oh, that's
awesome. I do like how he's like, I can speak freely, so fuck him.
Dude, I want to text him. I want to just ask him details.
If he doesn't want to talk about it, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm also like, man, he's so funny.
I just want to ask him about the apple.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah, we gotta know.
Because it is really funny.
That would be such a funny throwaway bit. It's like you say, I want to ask him about the apple, then we cut to a Zoom call.
Oh, dude.
And we're just like, so what was the deal with the apple? And he was like,
did it?
Yeah, I just did some shit.
So the cool thing about my makeup was, at one of the times I was there, Brad Pitt was there filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So his nose, his aesthetic for his nose, they took it off him and put it on me for my makeup. And I thought that was cool because I got to wear Brad Pitt's nose throughout the whole show.
What?
That's the end of the clip.
Why have these not? These are insane.
He got your nosed him.
Dude, this is...
He literally got
this
his
should
nose.
have more views.
You gotta elaborate.
Regardless of how you feel about Elon or Tesla or whatever, people are working a job. Like, do not misplace any of your energy towards someone who's just like working to just doing their job.
We have no idea what he does, and also, don't yell at the customer service worker when you hate Bezos, right?
Right. Being mean to the grocery store worker isn't sticking it to the man.
They
isn't
also wish
sticking
it was
to
better.
Walmart. Yeah.
I imagine he really wishes people didn't hate the brand.
So Network Knicks asked me to do a follow-up of how life is going for me and my fam from Black White on FX that was shot. So he's the one who's been posting the parts of all the videos on his page. So shouts out to Network Knicks. If y'all haven't followed him, follow him. So my dad and my stepmom, they are divorced. They're not together anymore. My stepmom, Renee, she's still in Atlanta, living there. My dad, he just recently moved to Phoenix, Arizona. And me, I'm out here in California. I work for Tesla. I'm a maintenance robotics technician. I work for Tesla. Hopefully, I'll be transferring to our new plant in Austin, Texas. But Yeah, everybody's doing good. Everybody still talk about it. We still talk about it. We still look back at it. It was a good experience for the most part. And the main question that we always used to get was, did we ever keep in contact with the Wurgle family? And fuck no. The last time we probably seen them was when we were on Oprah. Rose, the daughter, she was great. She was like me. Where she grew up was a melting pot, same way I was in Atlanta. It was a melting pot, so we had, everybody, black, white, Asian, Hispanics. At that time, of course, it wasn't a race thing for us. We seen everybody for who they were. The parents, on the other hand, Bruno and Carmen, it was just a lot of ignorance. And they rubbed they rubbed my parents the wrong way plenty of times, not just on camera, off of camera.
Damn, dude.
And I think that was the main reason why, after the show, their biggest thing was like, no, there was no need to talk to them.
What the fuck would you talk to
for
about?
whatever reason. But we did keep in contact with a lot of other people, the executive producers. Kept in contact with Cube when Cube used to come to Atlanta, or he had events in Atlanta. He'd invite us out.
Oh, that's cool. That's sick.
Kept in touch with his, executive producers.
That's a crazy thing as a teenager. Imagine that.
That's about it. Everybody's just been living life, enjoying life, making the best of it.
Obviously, being exposed to in pop culture and a lot of people can be really fuck you up, or at least give you like an isolated, really difficult experience. But I don't know, the Rizzler seems to be thriving, and I think it's just because his parents are very real with him, and they take the money they get from that and they make him a really nice Avengers themed bedroom,
Yeah,
it does not feel exploitative.
Please, I hope I don't have to watch a TikTok in 20 years from the Rizzler about how horrible the conditions he was working under. Yeah,
I mean, in 20 years he'll be in his 50s, I guess.
No, he's a child.
Oh, and he also is really into Legos.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, that red hat worried me for a sec, but we're all good. God damn, he's really into Legos. That's almost as cool as being into painting models.
Yeah.
He's got the Tesla tech money now.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.